1990 New York Mets yearbook. I'm going to show you what the ticket prices were back then compared to today. Okay, the 1990 Mets ticket seating information. Look at that. The most expensive seat in the house, box seat, just $12. See right there? The red seats right next to the field. Those were the box seats. And now today, if you want to sit there, you're going to be paying hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars. I mean, these players are so damn overpaid. I mean, a lot of this shit is rigged too, man, for gambling purposes. I mean, gambling's legal now too. I mean, and you fanboys out there, you pay all this money. I mean, baseball, that's a sport I haven't even looked at it since probably year 2000. So we're talking about 25 years. And sports are distraction. The only sport I watch a little bit is football. The rest of them I can care less about anymore. Even football I really shouldn't care that much about, but I grew up on it or whatever, but I can care less about baseball, basketball anymore. But I mean, players are making like $50, $70 million a year, and this is probably why you're paying so much money for these damn tickets. I don't understand you people, man. I don't. We got a serious crisis here going. Yeah, now look at the price. Some of the prices today. $743, $900, over $700. 78 there, 121 over there. Ridiculous. For a watered down game, overpaid players, man. This is what you people support.
Vegas wants it to be, right?
And why is that?
It's the Roman circus. What does the emperor do when the people become restive, and when the people are asking questions, and when the people don't like the policies of the emperor? He sends them to the circus. He creates a circus. He builds a giant coliseum.
H.G. Wells talked about it too. He talked about arenas. He says arenas could be put up across the world for sports, for instance. Now at that time, sports was something that children, school children were into. Adults became adults and got onto adult things. So it was unimaginable at the time that people could actually believe that there's even a need for adult sports and entertainment, never mind having arenas built across the world. But he said we can do this, and foist basically a sports culture for the males. Using a tribal system, we're all tribal to an extent. That's why we even bother to vote for a tribal leader. This is well understood. That's why we're supplied with these leaders. And because the average man
begins to throw the Christians to the lions, and he has great chariot races and football games and basketball games, all to keep the idiots preoccupied with things that don't mean anything in the scheme of the entire world. All to keep the idiots preoccupied with things that don't mean anything in the scheme of the entire world, so that they don't have the time to learn what the truth is, so they don't ever get smart enough to learn how they're being manipulated, so they don't ever question the emperor. That's why they pay a player on a football team or a baseball team $1 million or $2 million or $3 million a year. It is the Roman circus. I know men who don't know anything in the world except who plays third base for the Mets, and they think that's a great accomplishment. And they meet and pat each other on the back and bond and go have cocktails and talk about what this guy that plays third base for the Mets did in last night's game. It's sad.
we're all tribal to an extent. That's why we even bother to vote for a tribal leader. This is well understood. That's why we're supplied with these leaders. And because the average man was to become more disengaged from his own destiny as the expert class arose, it was decided that the males would get their outlet, basically, gradually becoming helpless as males, through sports. Therefore, they'd have a tribal team they could identify with. They could cheer them on as though they were winning. In their own personal lives, they were getting nowhere. They were getting disenfranchised, in a sense, as experts took over decision-making for them in all kinds of fields. So this was psychology at use, planned before they even implemented the sports. Sports used to only come out on Saturdays, and over a 10-year period, it gradually came on every night of the week. Until today, we have even sports channels, sports. So now you see guys who are sitting home, who are basically powerless at work. They have bosses who are sitting home, who are basically powerless at work. They have bosses. They're powerless on the roads. There's police and traffic wardens and cops watching them. They have no means to feel strong, and so they tend to watch sports as a substitute. They project themselves into a game which they never participate in, but as long as their team wins, they feel something's happening in their life that's positive and it's successful. It's a very good substitute for many, many things as far as the elite